Hi everyone, it's Tanya from Find Your English Voice, and today I'd like to talk about the one question that changes everything when you're thinking about learning and using English. So, that one question is, or the question that learners and users of English should ask themselves is have I spoken English this week? Have I actually used my English? Have I practiced it or actually used it in any way, like maybe at work or even in my real life? And instead of, am I fluent yet? Did I sound perfect? Are people judging my accent? What are native speakers thinking of me? Literally, ask yourself, have you used it? Have you practiced it? Have you learned any more English? Have you used any more English? Now, let me explain why that is so powerful, because often people feel like that they want to wait until they feel confident before speaking. I've heard students over the years say to me, "Oh, my English is okay. I understand more than I can say, but I need more grammar." Or I understand 95%, but I need more vocabulary. And this is the thing. Here's the thing. People think that I will be confident at learning and using English when I've done this, I've reached that goal, I've got more English, I've my grammar is absolutely perfect, my accent sounds like British English, like the Queen or James Bond or something like that. So they often set unreasonable goals for themselves, and they have kind of expectations that they feel that when they get to that point, whatever that point is for them, it's different for different people, that they would be able to then they will be their English will be much easier, much more confident, and everything would just like click into place. But it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Like saying I will participate in meetings when my English is better is really not useful at all, because and as I say to a lot of people who come and speak to me about problems with their English, or things that they would like to improve with their English, is the best way to get better at speaking English is to speak English. The best way to get better at writing English is to write English. We get better at things by actually doing it. Nobody ever learned to swim by reading about it. And it is much the same as English. Even though you can improve English by reading about it, it's actually using it that makes the difference. When you use it, your brain has to fill in the gaps. And so it's an active system. You are actively using it, and you're like building connections in your brain that are going to be able to help you to remember that more next time. So actively using English is different from passively reading about it and just taking it in. We need some kind of active participation there to help to build that muscle. So in our ancestral wiring, if we went for a walk, for example, we might see a rope on the floor, and our first thought might be, "Oh, snake." Those kind of thoughts and that wiring, it was it was there for us. It evolved to keep us alive. It's survival wiring, and unfortunately now this kind of survival wiring is being triggered by a meeting, a presentation, or a Zoom call, which clearly isn't going to be a life or death situation, but it can feel like that. So, in a way, people are just trying to keep themselves safe by actually not speaking. But actually, that's the worst thing you can do from the point of view of building your confidence. You need to speak up, make mistakes, realize they don't kill you, learn from them, move on, repeat, 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 until the point that your survival wiring isn't triggered by the fact that you've got to speak up in a meeting or to give a presentation. So, for that reason that I've just described, confidence doesn't come first, unfortunately. Speaking comes first. And then after that, you think, okay, I spoke up. Everybody, I think, understood me. I understood most of what was being said. And that is what builds confidence. So it goes the other way around. then you might automatically think like you use English and then like you survived, yay, then the confidence builds, and that is the order. And so the question that people should be asking themselves is, have I spoken English this week? And not something like, am I fluent yet? Or what do native speakers think of my English? Can people understand my accent? Ask about whether or not you've actively used your English this week, because that is the way that you are going to improve your English. And really that's the only metric that matters, not necessarily fluency, however you would describe that. It's more about frequency. The more you use it, the better you're going to get. And every time that you speak up in a meeting, in a conversation, on a Zoom, even giving presentations, you're starting to build a new identity. You're starting to build the identity of somebody who uses English. I'm not just an English learner, I'm an English user. I'm someone who participates. And gradually that muscle builds over time and exposure. And because of that, it just gets easier and easier, step by step, day after day, week after week. That is the way to do it. And so this week, here is your challenge. Speak English once, not perfectly, just once. Some of you might say, I don't really have an opportunity to speak English, or I don't really have anybody that I can speak English to. So your challenge is to find someone that you can speak English to, even just once. Either online, if there's literally nobody in your surrounding area, depending on where you live, not even tourists looking lost, needing directions, find a way to use English just once this week. It doesn't have to be perfect. The whole point is just to use it. Okay, great. Good luck with that. And let me know how you get on. I'd love to know how you get on. And I'm going to finish with leaving you the places where you can contact me if you'd like to and get more information. And so, yeah, have a good week, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.